Hello guys, in this video we're going to be talking about tattoo artists, and this is one of the important bits about getting your first tattoo, or any tattoo, to be honest. I mean, there is a lot to know and to figure out when it comes to picking someone to do your tattoo. Obviously it also depends on your design. Say you just want a standard black tattoo, no fancy colours or anything particularly intricate or difficult, it probably won't matter that much who does it in your tattoo parlour. And I'm assuming by this part you have seen the other parts of my videos and that you have, you've picked your design and you've picked a place. But if not, don't worry, that's fine. So yeah, in this part we're going to be talking about tattoo artists, and this is important really. The first thing I have to say is you want to find an artist who has pride in his work. And that's because if a tattoo artist doesn't have pride in his work, he's not going to do a good tattoo. It won't look great, and it ties into his ego. If he has a huge, overly inflated ego, you're probably going to end up with a rubbish-looking tattoo. And this, say you go in and you want to get a rose done. A tattoo artist may do a lot of roses every day. It doesn't matter, they should still put the highest quality work into it. And this is also one of the reasons I use the shop I use, because the guys, no matter how many times they've done something, they still put 100% in, because, they've pride in their work. And this is one of those things. I mean, let's say you have an artist who's done you go in and you want a rose on your chest. He's already done like 5 roses that day. He's done them a billion times before. So he goes, oh, alright, yeah, let's go. He just does it. It takes him 20 minutes. He's got it down to an art. There's no love in it, he's just breezed through it. He's not giving it 100% of his attention. But if you go to, and it just might not look that great. There might be these subtle little things in it that don't make it look that fantastic. But if you go to a place, where the guy is, he may have done like, 20 roses that day, but he still wants to give 100% and make each one look as good as the last and make them all look fantastic. You want to go to that guy who puts everything into it, because it will look better. Yeah, it's one of the things, would you rather have some, take it, say you're on a plane, would you prefer the pilot that's not paying attention, or the pilot that is paying attention? You want the one that's paying attention, and even though he's done it 100 times before, he's still giving it 100%, because he doesn't want to make a mistake. And that's an important thing to do when it comes to picking an artist. You need to pick a place, where the people aren't just gonna, just sit there and doodle on your arm whilst watching TV. They need to pay attention to it. If they make one mistake, you could quite easily be screwed. And again, that's something that I would definitely take into account. If I went into a place and I felt that the tattoo artist had a bit of an ego, and that they weren't particularly interested in, doing something if it wasn't new, I wouldn't go there. It's as simple as, I would not give them my business. I would go somewhere where I feel like the artists, will give 100% no matter how many times we've done something, because, they have pride in their work. Another thing is specialties. And this is because different artists will have different specialties. There's a shop near me, I suggested in one of the previous parts, fantastic black and grey work, very sharp very sharp tattoo, very clear, nice colouring, it looks awesome. But when you start adding coloured ink, they kind of lack a little bit. And that's something you need to take into account. Say you want to get some black and grey work, obviously that would be a good place. If you want to get some colour, no, you'll probably be disappointed. So, it's not like that. And some places, a particular artist may be exceptional at doing portraits, or exceptional at biomechanical stuff. you know, there are a lot of different areas of specialties in terms of tattoos. So, you know, you want to find somewhere that has an artist who can do a good job of your tattoo. You don't just want to go into the first place and say, just, yeah, you can do it, do it. And again, you know, a particular tattoo studio could easily have, you know, chance I would have at least 2 tattoo artists, possibly more, probably more, depending on the size of the shop. You know, you want to pick somewhere that, you know, has the right artist for your work. So, you know, say you go in there and they have, like, you know, 5 resident artists, you know, and you know one of them is particularly good at doing biomechanics. So you go and you ask him, you ask for that particular artist to do your tattoo if you're getting biomechanics. Don't just go in there and say, yeah, anyone can do it, I've seen it online, because you might not get the right artist, it might look a little bit substandard. And this is one of the reasons you should do some research. I suppose it's getting gradually worse. The blind is closed, it's, you know. You do want to do some research beforehand on tattoos, even if it's just a Google search for good and bad tattoos. And this is because you can get an idea of what looks good and what looks bad. You know, if you don't look at tattoos and you have no sort of idea what looks good and what doesn't, you just go in, get something. You have no idea if it looks good. You think you might think, oh, that's just what all tattoos look like. You have no idea. So yeah, you want to do your research. You want to look at find what looks good, what looks bad, what looks okay. Because if you don't, you may very well end up unhappy with the overall quality. When, you know, maybe you get it, and then a few months later you're looking online and you see it's actually quite poor quality. You're going to be kind of pissed. So, you know, do your research on it. Do your research on your tattoo shops and the artists in there. And that's the reason you can pick a tattoo artist who can do a good job of your particular work. And, you know, you don't want to pick a place, again, don't go into the first place you can because it's near to you, it's the first place you find. Chances are it won't end that well for you. You might get lucky, it might work out awesomely, but it might not. And obviously you don't want to, you know, end up with a bad looking tattoo. You'll just be generally unhappy with it. So artist wise, yeah, you know, do your research, because at the end of the day, the tattoo artist doesn't really, at the end of the day, you know, they need to care, but once they've tattooed you and they've done their quality of work, you're kind of stuck. You can't get it undone easily, you know. So yeah, you want to pick a place. You know, there are a few places as well. Finding a place and an artist that offers a free touch-up within a couple of weeks after your tattoo's all healed up, definitely worth looking into. And I said because I've seen a few places and I've seen a few people. You know, some places won't offer it. I've seen some people who've got a tattoo. I mean, there's one time I think it was, what was I getting? If I remember correctly, I was getting this one done. I think I was, yeah, I was getting it done. A girl walks in. She has some flowers done on her wrist or somewhere. I can't even remember. But she's looking to get it some colour added, maybe, you know, just done up, because the place she'd done it in before, you know, a lot of the colour had come out, like 90% had come out. It looked absolutely terrible, and she was looking to get some colour put back in, and she asked how much it would be, and the shop I was in, they said, oh, it'll be about £40 for the colour, and the reason they said that is because it wasn't their work. You know, but if it was their work, they would have done it for free, but it wasn't, so he had to charge. And, you know, this girl couldn't believe it, you know. She was saying the other places she'd been talking to had said anywhere from, like, you know, £80 upwards, just for a little bit of colour. Well, it was, like, you know, like, yay big or so, tiny little design. So in the end, she ended up getting the colour redone and some more flowers put in because of the price. And yeah, it's one of those things, you know. Don't, I can't talk. Some places won't touch other places work. Like, they won't add to it or something. Some places will, but some places, I know if you go in and you have another artist's work on it and say you want it finished or something added to it, they won't do it. They'll say, no, sorry, we don't do that. So if that's something you want, like, you know, maybe you had, I don't know, you had a half sleeve done and you want to get the other half done, but you don't want to go back to that other place for whatever reason, maybe they shut down or you just didn't have that great experience. You know, you might have to look around it to find a place that does it. So that's pretty much it on artists. A few more things to go over really in terms of, you know, safety, aftercare, that sort of stuff. So I'll go over that in like the next video or so. I'll see you guys next time then. Bye.